He never saw the final blow until it came from a friend. On the 15th of March 44 BC, the most powerful man in the ancient world walked into a room believing he was untouchable. Julius Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, dictator of Rome, hero to the people, was about to face the one thing he never expected. A blade held by someone he trusted. His death wouldn't just end a life. It would end a republic, reshape the Roman world, and echo across thousands of years. This is the story of betrayal, ambition, and the shocking fall of a republic. The rise that made him a target. Before Caesar fell, he first rose higher than anyone expected. Julius Caesar had returned from brilliant military victories, celebrated by the Roman people like a god. His triumphs shook the Senate, a group of elite men who believed they alone should rule Rome. But Caesar's growing power made them tremble. He was charismatic. He was brilliant. He was unstoppable. And worse, he was adored by the masses. The Senate feared that Caesar wasn't just a leader anymore. He was becoming a king. In a republic built on hatred for kings, even the rumor was enough to plant seeds of rebellion. Those seeds grew into daggers. The conspiracy begins. Deep inside Roman villas lit by flickering oil lamps, whispers filled the night. A group of senators who called themselves the Liberators met in secret. Their leader, Marcus Junius Brutus, a man Caesar deeply loved and trusted. And beside him was Gaius Cassius, a sharp-minded politician who feared Caesar's growing influence. They convinced themselves that Caesar's ambition was dangerous. That killing him would save Rome. That assassination was not murder, but duty. And so, more than 60 conspirators sharpened their blades and sharpened their lies. The warning signs. The night before his death, Caesar's wife Calpurnia had a terrifying dream. Caesar's statue bleeding from 100 wounds. She begged him not to go to the Senate the next morning, but Caesar laughed it off. He believed destiny was on his side. And besides, he had always lived boldly. But fate had already chosen its path. The Ides of March, Caesar enters the Senate. It was a bright morning when Caesar stepped into the theater of Pompey, where the Senate was temporarily meeting. He wore a deep red toga, the color of power. As he entered, senators rose respectfully. But behind their polite smiles were trembling hands gripping hidden blades. Caesar took his seat. He knew many of these men personally. He trusted them. That trust would be the final weapon used against him. The attack begins. Suddenly, a senator approached and pulled on Caesar's toga, pretending to ask a question. This was the signal. Another senator stabbed Caesar in the shoulder. Caesar staggered back, shocked. More daggers flashed. Cassius lunged. Then Cimber. Then Casca. One by one, senators Caesar had known for years rushed at him like wolves. In a matter of seconds, Caesar, the most powerful man alive, was surrounded by traitors. He shouted, "Villains! What are you doing?" But the blows didn't stop. The final betrayal, "E tu, brute?" Then Caesar saw something that broke him more than any dagger. Brutus. His friend. His protege. His chosen successor. Brutus stepped forward, dagger raised, eyes filled with guilt and determination. Caesar's voice cracked as he whispered, "E tu, brute? You too, Brutus?" At that moment, Caesar stopped resisting. He pulled his toga over his head and let fate take him. The conspirators stabbed him 23 times. When his body finally collapsed, the Republic collapsed with it. Rome after the murder. The conspirators expected to be hailed as heroes. Instead, Rome fell into chaos. People screamed in the streets. Shops shut their doors. Citizens mourned the leader they loved. And while the Senate tried to justify the murder, Caesar's allies quietly began gathering power. His loyal general Mark Antony delivered a funeral speech so powerful that it turned the entire city against the assassins. His adopted son Octavian, young but brilliant, vowed to avenge him. Within months, the conspirators were hunted, defeated, or dead. And within years, Octavian became Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. The republic the conspirators wanted to save? Gone forever. The empire they feared? Born from Caesar's blood. The legacy of a man and a moment. Julius Caesar's assassination remains one of the most dramatic moments in world history, a turning point where ambition, fear, and betrayal collided. He was not perfect. He was not innocent. But he was unstoppable. And sometimes the only way to stop an unstoppable man is to destroy him. But in killing him, his enemies only made him eternal. To this day, his death marks a lesson. Power creates enemies. Brilliance inspires fear. And betrayal cuts deeper than any blade. BV. If you want more epic stories that shaped our world, stories of power, betrayal, war, and destiny, then follow this page and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the next one.